towels and shorts, and surf, and scuba, and sand, and sailing, and soccer. San Diego, California.
Season's greetings and welcome to Two Balls and a Mic, episode 207. We are back with another week of developments in the San Diego soccer verse. First and foremost, Naomi Girma winning best U.S. player, period.
Namaste.
In the U.S. Redundant. Naomi Girma, we're going to go ahead. We're going to talk about everything that went into her being selected as the best player overall in the U.S. women's national team verse. Also, she got snubbed. Pro 11 decided not to put her anywhere near their best 11. However,
we're going to share 2 cents on that.
They decided, Alex Morgan decided to be there. All right. We're also going to go ahead and talk about the NWSL draft. NWSL draft happened. 2 picks from San Diego Wave. You actually called one of them last week.
I did.
Wesley.
Pronounced her last name wrong last episode.
Absolutely,
too.
But we got it right. And we're also going to go ahead and have a guest from the Sirens, their PR person, individual. We're going to go ahead and have a chat with them and talk about what the Sirens are as we see a new piece of
nice. It's a nice scarf.
Scarferee on the studio. Courtesy of the Siren supporter group, that Siren supporter group, part of the San Diego Wave verse. There's a lot of verses. Your San Diego FC, SDFC, the supporters meeting happened. There were some developments that happened, at least in spoken word. What's going to happen with the Chrome Ball Tour? First signing, Ferree. Does he have a landing spot? Some rumors have been going around. We're going to go ahead and get into that. New signings potentially in FC Northland, the sibling team. Segun is training here in San Diego. We're going to give you breaking news as far as who the opponent is for tomorrow for FC Northland. And it's an interesting dynamic because, again, people are interested in this team, but it's like, I don't know. Like,
I mean, they have to be interested, right?
If I'm a fan of my local McDonald's across the street, does that mean like the McDonald's in Denmark is going to be my favorite? You're not even going to stay loyal to the brand? That's kind of what this is. There's 4 of them, and you're backing the right to dream. And it's
oh man, the fact that you use a McDonald's reference, wait.
I mean,
you're not helping your case.
My case. My case.
You like McDonald's?
No, I don't actually. Despite what I look like, I don't.
Yeah, no.
Congratulations to Coach Nate Miller, formerly San Diego Loyal, landing a assistant coaching head spot in the MLS for Real Salt Lake. Former 2009 champions of the MLS. That is them. Nate Miller, part of that coaching network now. We're going to go ahead and say season's greetings and hope everything is going okay with everybody here on Instagram, on Twitter, on X, on YouTube. Go ahead and enjoy the comment section for what we have today. Season's greetings to everybody who is joining. For this, there is going to be updates on the San Diego Soccer's media game. Go check out Soccer's Overtime, which just wrapped up about 30-45 minutes ago, and now I'm here.
Double shift, man.
Double shift.
Yeah, let's dive right in it, right?
Right,
NWSL
cool.
draft.
Yes.
Okay, what do you want to go first?
Draft? 8:30, we're going to go ahead and have a Sirens representative go ahead and give their insight on what they're going to be about this season and all that good stuff. So
there's a chance, guys, we're going to be talking NWSL draft, and then we'll talk Sirens, and then maybe come back to San Diego Wave after that. But yeah, let's dive right into the NWSL draft, right? It took place this past weekend over in Anaheim, and San Diego Wave had 2 picks to make. They had the 12th overall in the first round, and they went with Kennedy Wesley. So remember the last episode, if you guys were watching, we kind of pulled up a mock draft that someone made, and they were pretty accurate on that. They said 12th pick, Kennedy Wesley, San Diego Wave, a defensive-minded player. They need a left back right now. Will she be able to play in that position? I mean, I can't say that. I know how she plays ever since her Stanford days, but what we can say is another Stanford alumni joining San Diego Wave is not a bad thing. You have Naomi Girma, you have Sierra Angie, now you have Kennedy Wesley. That's not a bad dynamic. And if you now in the eyes of Casey Stoney, you're like, okay, maybe she's looking a little more into Stanford.
Yeah, I mean the cohesion is there, obviously, from what's been happening on the young sense of the ball. Naomi Girma, a slam dunk. As you mentioned, Sierra Angie, actually, right after she was drafted, they handed her a phone with a FaceTime call from Sierra Angie. They share a cool little moment there. But I mean, it has a lot to do with what's going to go ahead and happen and be the determining factor of success for San Diego Wave this season. So Kennedy Wesley, the top pick here for San Diego Wave. We're going to get some comments from Casey Stoney as far as what went into that decision. But also, the other player that got drafted was
we have Mia Jones. Mia. I don't want to mess it up now, but I'm gonna go with Mia Jones.
I have a staff that spells it the same. One is Maya, one is Mia. So
it's a valid question to ask, right?
I will look at the pronunciation guide for this one.
Yeah. So let's go with, what do you want to go with? Mia?
Now what I want to go with, we're going to go ahead and go with Jones.
All right. Jones. Her stats for her last college year, I mean, kind of speak for herself. She's an attacking player. She started 22 of the 22 games that they played, scoring 11 goals and 11 assists. So not only is she able to score goals, but she's also to be a playmaker, right? Getting assists. And it's something that maybe San Diego Wave want to have in that depth chart, right? Where if you get an injury or anything like that, or players are not available, which happened a lot last season, you want to have a player that you kind of depend on and be able to make an impact on that offense as well. We saw the return of Emily Van Ekman as well, right? So the team is kind of well-rounded. So
Carusa.
Exactly. So Carusa is most likely going to be a starter.
Yeah.
The NWSL starts in exactly 2 months.
Yep.
So with that said, like, now it's time. You have your team. I think out of all the teams in the NWSL, it is said that San Diego Wave is the most well put together team so far. So that has to be a step in the right direction. That has to mean, hey, we're going for a championship this one. We've been going up the right track, but now we got to go for a championship.
Yeah. And I mean, we'll hear from Casey Stoney and what she thinks of this draft coming up here. Because again, she was up there along with the majority of U.S. soccer in terms of the head coaching.
She looks super into it.
Yeah. I mean, it looked like she
yeah.
Well,
that's otherwise.
Well, let's see what Casey has here in store for us.
Added some good talent today in the draft. How do you feel about?
Well,
we're gonna fix that audio real quick, but yeah, we're gonna hear from Casey Stoney on her thoughts on drafting Maya. But there's a video that Wave did put of Casey Stoney kind of going off, right, saying like, we need to get her now. We need to get her, and she was super hyped about getting Kennedy Wesley, 12th overall. While we get that, just a big shout out to Maddie Mercado, San Diego native player, getting drafted as well in the NWSL by Seattle, who rebranded.
Yeah.
So now there's Seattle Reign, I believe.
Yeah, no, and it's really cool.
It's their original crest that they had. So it's pretty cool. I mean, I love seeing when teams keep their original crest. I mean, there's always rebrandings, but I think that one looks better.
Yeah. So here's Casey Stoney.
Some good talent today in the draft. How do you feel about the 2 picks you had today?
I feel really good. I think we've done incredible in this draft. I think Kennedy and Maya, super talented players in very different ways, going to add a lot of strength to us. Excited to work with them. I think they're 2 players with a very, very high ceiling.
Obviously, Kennedy being one of the first-round draft picks for us, another Stanford product. What do you see out of Kennedy?
She's actually been trained with us in the past as well, so we know Kennedy quite well. She had a really good season. I think she's versatile and adaptable, can play centre-back, can play full-back. I think when she plays full-back, likes to get forward. You know, she covers ground well, reads the game well, and I think she was really key for us to bring in. We've obviously got history of bringing in Stanford players, and they do well for us. They come from good pedigree, intelligent players, intelligent people, and we're going to continue to build this in terms of who we bring in San Diego.
And then I think maybe a little surprised to see Maya Jones maybe fall this far deep into the draft. What do you see in her, and how excited were you to be able to grab her in last year?
Yeah, we didn't think we'd get Maya because we thought she'd go a lot sooner, but I think the fact that she takes an international spot potentially is one of the reasons. But this young player's got a lot of talent. The way she can go 1v1, she can go inside and outside, and I think she's a very positive attacking player. We had her in before Christmas. What we saw really excited us. We're really pleased to be able to get her.
Unless you're at the end of the month, kicking off preseason, what are you most looking forward to about getting the group back together at the end of January?
I think just to see how we can continue to evolve. I think we had a good year last year. How we can build on that. Obviously bring in Savannah McCaskill in and potentially a couple more. We're not done yet, and how we can continue to evolve this squad and push the limits and I think really continue our playing style and the way we want to play. I think last year and the year before was just the start.
Sorry, one more. Naomi Girma was just made U.S. Player of the Year. What can you say about Nay?
What can I say about Nay? There's not enough words, to be honest. I'm super proud of her, number one, because I think she's gone and played in a World Cup in her first time in her career and shone, in difficult circumstances. She's incredible. Her ceiling is so high. I said it to her last year. She can be the best defender in the world for many, many years to come, and I think she's going to continue to grow. And what a humble, great person to have as part of our team.
And that says it, right? I mean, the fact that a rookie will take a international slot says a lot of the expectations and the hope that they have for this player, right? From Alberta, which is Canada, if I'm not mistaken, right?
I don't know if I should be impressed with that, that, or just kind of sad that the level of like, hey, look, I knew that is so low that like Alberta, Canada. No, that's fine.
Because if you know Tony by now,
no,
you know
fine.
He's literally like an encyclopedia. You really are.
But
yeah, I mean, that says a lot, right? A rookie taking an international slot. That's going to be very important. I mean,
that means that one player probably isn't coming back, and that's going to be Sofia Jakobsen.
That's going to be.
That's probably going to be where that could come from. Yep.
It is interesting that Casey Stoney did say about Kennedy Wesley that she can play center back, but she also can play fullback, and she goes up a lot, kind of hinting that she will be playing in that fullback position. But again, granted, how the NWSL goes, injuries happen. I wouldn't be surprised if we see Kennedy Wesley playing in that fullback center back position / fullback from time to time.
Now to see some of the highlights that were provided here for Kennedy Wesley, starting with PK. Can't really tell a lot, but you know what? Something that I do notice there is an armband. So to be able to be the captain of a prestigious soccer program like Stanford, obviously seeing the pedigree of the players that just came before her. Same thing, Sierra Engie, former captain, now with San Diego Wave.
Kennedy Wesley was the team captain as a senior in 2022 and also as a grad student in 2023. So 2 years in a row, 2 seasons wearing the captain armband for Stanford University. These are some of her stats according to Stanford, right? NCAA champion in 2019, 2-time Pac-12 champion 2019-2022, 2 college cup appearances. The list goes on and on and on, but she has that experience of being a leader, and that's something that Casey Stoney always wants in her players as well. Yeah,
so very positive here from San Diego Wave in terms of the draft. Obviously mentioning Naomi Girma, Nay, and her call to be literally the best defender in the world, at least in America, as voted.
The best defender in the world in America.
Yeah, world champions.
That is America, world champions. Yeah, so shout out to Nay, right? Getting player of the year. And that's just tip of the iceberg, right? It's her second year, and she's already getting all these awards. So she will be in that FIFA Pro 11 for sure.
So FIFA Pro 11 came out, which is one of the many lists that spring up around. First you have the Ballon d'Oro, then you have like the
there's so many awards now. There's
player
so
of the
many.
man.
Didn't Messi? We'll dive into that, but Messi also won like FIFA best men's player, right?
Yeah, beating Erling Haaland once again with 5.
So the MLS
captain votes.
has the best player in the world of 2023, apparently.
And you can see him on Sunday, or Saturday at Snapdragon Stadium.
Some Wednesdays, maybe.
You will never see Messi playing on a Wednesday.
Yeah, no, we'll talk into that. Right now, let's stick to San Diego Wave, or women's soccer in general. But yeah, the FIFA Fifth Pro Women's World 11 came out, and there's only one American player that made the list.
And that player was one Alex Morgan. Alex Morgan winning the place in the FIFA Pro best 11. I don't know what's going on there,
but
because
my thing with this is, right now, you gotta have to question what's the overall viewpoint, right? That the world of soccer has on the NWSL or in American soccer. Because
They
if
don't know it,
Alex
yeah.
Morgan made this list, my thing is, okay, did they even look at stats? Did they even look at the season she had? Because she had by far one of her worst seasons in her career.
Mhm.
Alex Morgan. And I mean, having Naomi Girma, having other players in the NWSL that in the attacking position did so much better. She's not even, like you mentioned it before, right? She's not even the best attacker in her team.
She's not the best attacker in her own team. This is, again, if you've been following world football and some of these awards and how they're given, you would see that Dani Alves would be on these lists forever, even though he was nowhere near his prime, nowhere near somebody else was Marcelo. Marcelo was on that list way too long than he had any right being. The breakdown for the votes kind of goes this way. Let's oh yeah, I can do this. No,
you can't.
It goes something like, where'd it go? This. So yeah, that's how everything kind of broke down. Voting wise,
she wasn't even in the voting list.
Why?
That's insane. Now, I mean, you need to
how the World 11 works. All right,
that's perfect.
Okay. Who decided not to put Naomi Girma in this? The FIFA Pro World 11 is voted on by professional players from around the world. Over 25,000 players vote every year. Each player nominates 3 goalkeepers, 3 defenders, 3 midfielders, and 3 forwards via an online system. Who is eligible for this year's team? Men's players must have played at least 23 official matches from the 19th of December to 2022 and 20th of August 2023 inclusive. Women's players must have played at least 25 official matches from August 1st, 2022 to August 20th, 2023 inclusive. How the squad is selected. Each shortlist consists of 3 goalkeepers, 6 defenders, 6 midfielders, and 6 forwards. With the most votes, the 2 remaining outfield players with the most votes are also added. How the team is selected. The final team is consisted of 1 goalkeeper, 3 defenders, 3 midfielders, 3 forwards with the most votes. The outfield player with the highest number of votes will be included in the team in each respective position. So this isn't to say anything on the great players that did make the FIFA Pro 11, because again, it's not just NWSL. And that's something that I was actually on the call and I asked during the press conference, the
commissioner, right?
Yeah. So Jessica Berman was on the call and kind of talked about the growth of the NWSL and where they want the NWSL to be and these changes that they're doing. I asked her, so with the scheduling, like, how are you working this out? Do you feel like the scheduling and conflicts with the international breaks, is it more of something they need to work on? Is it a priority to work on? Or is it an opportunity for the players that are going to be drafted that night to get more playing time? So, like, where does the league stand on that? And it was pretty standard as far as like, well, we see it. We've already done these changes and implemented this tournament within the season to compensate and supplement during the times of the Olympics and during the times of international breaks. So they're working on it, but I think they're not in an ideal place nor in an ideal direction. NWSL is to really capitalize as much as they potentially could. If they were to line up, like, that would be a cool statement to they're going to rebrand. They're working on a rebrand, the whole NWSL. But if they were to work into this rebrand, a new concept of following the traditional system and seeing those and recognizing those international breaks, that can be something that then you look at MLS and it's like, well, we're doing something that you're not. That there was a question too of like, how are you guys working together and just priority in general with these stadiums? And look, the league is growing. There's 2 more teams coming in. Bay City and Utah is returning. 14 teams this season for the NWSL. And it should be fun. It should be interesting, but there is a lot of growth and room for improvement. And there's a real chance they can become the number one league in the world. Whereas I don't think I could say that for the MLS. I think sooner, if I was a betting man, I think that the NWSL could potentially become the best league in the world sooner than MLS has the chance to become the best league in the world.
Yeah, I can see that for sure. I'm trying to think, right? They said August 2022 to August 2023 for the voting, right? Of that the players had to play in for the FIFA Pro Awards, Tony.
Yeah.
So if they look at stats and players see, oh, Alex Morgan, 2022, she ended with the most goals in the NWSL 2022 season, then I can see maybe why she was in those votes. Yeah. But the fact that you don't even mention Naomi Girma just kind of has to go. I mean, she played every single game in the World Cup that the U.S. played. She already played every minute in the worldwide, and other players in the world saw the talent that she is. So, I mean, she's still young. She will be in that list for sure eventually. But, I mean, still feels like she got snubbed.
And again, like, it's just one of those things where they just recognize Alex Morgan as the face of U.S. soccer. And it's almost out of respect to have the players vote. Like, if you were to ask me, okay, who are these players? If Marta was still active, she would have probably gotten a couple of votes on there, more than likely. Maybe not anywhere near winning, but still, just some like out of respect, Marta votes out there. But yeah, like, this is a season that's really going to determine what the rest of the career for Alex Morgan is going to be. Because if she relies on these penalties, if she relies on the play that she's been having for the last 2 seasons, she's not going to contribute that much. She's going to start being a little bit more of a supporting cast member to the main event, which is Jaden Shaw, which could potentially be Carusa. Korniak is going to be coming back with a brand new name, hopefully sooner rather than later, for those people that are going to buy their jerseys and are unaware. Barcenas needs to step up.
I think the Urban Legend had said Linda Caicedo was also snubbed. I mean, yeah, she's one of the best players in the world as well, and she wasn't in that list. So it's a shame how the voting goes, but again, I wonder which players.
Matter.
Yeah, they don't. They really don't.
Like, at the end of the day, the players who go are honored, and it's great to be admired by your peers and just recognized, and that's fantastic.
And did Alex Morgan even share it on her stories?
She did. She did.
Right?
She did. Yeah, no, she did, and she said that it was an honor to be nominated with some of these other great players around the world and even be considered, which standard part for the course. Like, yeah, you have to be, but Alex Morgan has to know that it's one of those. Like, again, the voting is the voting. It's like saying that Ronaldo's the best player, the best forward because he scored the most goals. And that's really something that's getting floated around. Like, oh, he beat Erling Haaland for this. He scored one more goal last year than Erling Haaland, but it was against the competition, bro. Like, you were struggling in that beginning part. But
yeah. So, I mean, again, like, going back to the NWSL, right? I love hearing this whole rebranding thing, and it's just a step in the right direction going into how it is worldwide, because as we all know, the US is just known to be its own set of rules, its own set of guidelines. So when it comes to soccer and football, you have to appreciate what it is everywhere else, right? So I love that. I love that about the NWSL. And I mean, again, here in San Diego, if you're brand new to following San Diego football, San Diego Wave is what we have for this next year. We have nothing else to watch when it comes to San Diego. It is San Diego Wave.
Yeah.
Sources just kind of let us know that Albion San Diego might not come back. There's probably like a 95% chance that they don't come back next season. So
that was literally the wrong button. It was supposed to be this one.
There you go. Yeah, sources have confirmed that Albion San Diego needs a miracle to come back next season.
Yeah, and that's the professional side of things as far as what's happening in the outdoor game. San Diego Soccer's, I mean, oh boy, they had they plopped a big one.
Yeah, we won't dive into it. Watch Soccer's Overtime if you want to hear all about that.
I'm done talking about it. I'm tired of that. But San Diego Wave has a really big opportunity, really unique opportunity, yes, and that's what I wanted to really talk and engage with other people over from the Sirens, and kind of like the plan for us has been to really be an amplifier for the community, and we have been. And again, we'll show you the receipts on the work that we're trying to put in as far as, hey, look, there's these giant corporations and giant money that's coming in, either MLS or NWSL, right? Ron Burkle is the guy that's funding and you know, is bankrolling the San Diego Wave to be able to have this opportunity to have soccer in San Diego. But look, if they're going to take it, they have to really take it by the horns and do as much as they can. And I know people who are working within Wave. I know people who are working auxiliary to the Wave. It's gonna be really, really, really fun this year. I know for a fact that there's gonna be a lot of different activations through the club. You have the Women's Gold Cup happening at Snapdragon.
Starting next month.
And that's going to be right around the corner here in the backyard. You're going to have Brazil coming over and playing here at Snapdragon. So you'll see some of the stars there, and we're going to bring you coverage because it's soccer in San Diego.
Let's talk about that real quick, right? Like the matches that are going to be happening here in San Diego. I believe it's February 23rd that are going to be here. Some matches in San Diego. The championship game is going to be in San Diego as well, so that's exciting. Let's see if we can pull this up real quick. But yeah, there's going to be plenty of games. Also, Mexico, if you're following Mexico, they're going to be playing in Carson, the group stages, so you can check that out as well. But yeah, I mean, definitely check it out. Go to Snapdragon. Go check out the Women's Gold Cup. It's the first time that this tournament's going to take place.
It's exciting.
And it's super exciting. Like, I mean, the fact that you're going to have Mexico and the U.S. potentially facing each other.
All right, relax.
Like, that's cool.
It's cool, but Mexico is they're not playing all that well. They have some pieces, but it's not clicking on all cylinders.
They're on the come up. They're on the come up.
I'll give you that. As we're gonna go ahead and welcome and do a little bit of a pivot. I mentioned being over with the Sirens on draft night. Just kind of wanted to take it all in and just say, hey, like, we're here. We're going to be able to talk a little bit more. Same thing with the SDFC side. We're going to go ahead and have those conversations with the Riptides, with the locals, the Chavos, 18th Battalion, La Barra 18, who all had their say. Yeah, there's so many now. Yeah, there's a bunch, but hopefully they can fill that.
But there's only one Sirens.
But this group has had the most practice. This group has had the most consistent outpouring of love and support, and just what they've evolved into is such a really fun group of people who just go to Snapdragon and have a blast. And what they do while the 90 minutes is happening with the TIFOs out in the community, we're going to get into all of that with the membership because we do have coming up the PR, because again, it's so very structured. I love the organization. PR individual for Las Sirens. Please welcome Googie.
Hey, how's it going? How are y'all?
How's it going? Thank you for your time. How are you doing?
I'm good. Thank you so much for having me on and for thinking we're so official by having PR titles.
No.
Woo! Already. That's all we need for the season. We're done. We made it.
You did it. No, it's a really part of the structuring of something that maybe isn't naturally structured elsewhere. And I was really impressed with the way that everything just kind of runs so smoothly. Not to say that anybody else in San Diego who has a supporter group doesn't or does. But either way, how the Sirens are doing it is fantastic. And we've been watching since everybody started over at Torero, how the transition has happened now into this year coming up. I think things are starting to roll. There's some footing there, but we want to go ahead and talk about the membership for this year and kind of give you a chance to, for those who may not know, who are hesitant of, should I join the Cove? Should I go watch a game here? What are the Sirens all about just in general? You can just kind of sum it up and give that elevator pitch for those who might want to join the Cove coming up in the Sirens.
Yeah, for sure. So I think for me, something that I always kind of like to start with in terms of the Sirens is when we first formed, in the 2022 season, It's a bunch of people that loved soccer, loved NWSL. We're so stoked that San Diego had a women's team, but had never been on the supporters side before, right? So it was a whole bunch of us that just kind of like came together and built what we thought would be like a fun thing that could be sustainable. And so it's really nice, to hear that other folks are having a great time during those 90 minutes, especially in the Cove or, even other parts of the stadium. But I think what's really so great, which again, as someone that wasn't really involved in supporters culture before the Sirens, is that when you are a member, it is so much more than match day. You have access to community, whether it's online or at tailgates or at special events, things like that. Or, if it's just like totally on the Discord or on our socials or anything like that. Definitely like a wide range of opportunity for people to get involved. I think there's a lot of like questions and doubt around what even is a supporters group. And people think, oh, this is like a full-time commitment. I have to show up to things constantly, or I have to like actively always be painting for the TIFOs or things like that. But membership really could be as simple as you paying that like one-time membership fee. For the Sirens, we really only have 2 memberships right now. One of them is our Epic membership. It's a year-long membership. And basically the biggest difference between that Epic membership and the Mythic membership, which is also a year-long membership, is that the Epic membership, you get the incredible scarf, which I see y'all have hanging there. So amazing. We have a fantastic graphic designer that works with us, great artist, Troy. He came up with a great scarf. So definitely that alone worth the $30. But again, you could do the Mythic membership, which is basically, it's literally free. It's just that there's a sticker pack involved. So then you pay shipping fees. Or you could sign up in person at some of our events. We have a couple of different events. As Tony mentioned earlier, we did a NWSL draft watch party, which was just so fun. And like, as someone that again was here since 2022 with the Sirens, it was really incredible to see the difference in that draft versus this draft experience, and just the growth already has just really been amazing. So yeah, wow. I could obviously like go on and on and on about the Sirens. I'm just slightly obsessed with them.
And now it's going to be all about the Sirens, right? It's only San Diego Wave. We were talking about it a little earlier, but it's only San Diego Wave this next season. How exciting is it for the Sirens to really have all eyes on you guys?
Let's see. I think we all like to assume in the Sirens that we've always had all eyes on us. Kind of hard to ignore when we have a hippo and all the bubbles. But I mean, I think what's exciting is that I'm hoping it's going to be a little bit more crossover, right, between fans of the local or the loyal, have people from local, Chavos, also hopefully soccer's fans, people that are gearing up for the MLS team, just figuring out like, how can we not just get them on board for like this year in terms of the hypes, but also how can we get people to stick around, even when there is another team that's going to, potentially have schedule combating moments. But I think it'll be nice. I think that the Sirens have always kind of just been tunnel visioned on Wave a little bit, and figuring out like exactly how we want our group to work and how is it similar and different to other supporters groups, whether it's in the NWSL or at large, and kind of what we want to accomplish. So, hopefully with the bigger stage, we'll have more eyes on us and our community will keep growing, and we can keep kind of developing these ideas as an organization that's really representative of who our members are. But, hopefully we'll also get some new soccer fans in there as well.
Absolutely. And something I'll always commend and always look and admire is that the fans who are the diehards are just as diehard, if not more, than most of the American soccer fans that I've been exposed to personally. And that's just knowing, like, I've learned a lot from Sirens supporters who just have this wealth of knowledge of, no, well, the NWSL existed before SD Wave, and that's completely on our part. Where we've come organically to knowing the league, knowing the players. Now we're very familiar with this person, this now Girma's play styles, this. You know what? I do feel like Kelsey Turnbow can step it up a little bit, and not get fouled so much, and just have those conversations. But it all comes from just the passion that fans like you have, and there's a lot to learn in that Discord for the Sirens that is going around with the membership sign up. So if anything, it's worth just being part of that Discord. I highly recommend it for anybody who wants to know about events, about just general NWSL discussions, or just to have a good time. Like it's a really good time with a really cool group of individuals who have come together and built something really amazing, and hopefully it's going to keep growing. For this year, again, we want to go ahead and have you back and have more people in leadership or people who are part of the Sirens kind of join these discussions and really just bounce information, and anything that does come about as far as events, just go ahead and please let us know. Is there anything coming up soon, or just some special things that might be on the horizon for this season?
Well, as you mentioned, right, the Women's Gold Cup is going to have a bunch of games at Snapdragon, February to March. So we're hoping, to be determined to have some Sirens hosted events around that. Also upcoming, we have our own little band of Sirens FC. It's 9 members that are going to be competing in a Monday night adult queer soccer league that is hosted by Lambda Rising.
Dope.
So if anyone wants to come watch us and be the supporters for the supporters playing soccer, get real meta. We would love it. Other than that, just keep your eye on our social media, SD Sirens. It's on Instagram, Facebook, also Twitter /X. And we'll have watch parties, different kinds of fun crafting events and things like that throughout the season. So all the things that can happen beyond just those match days. So definitely check us out, learn more, get involved.
And I will second that push to get SDFC fans, loyal fans. I mean, now probably departed Albion fan, get out there, really be part of it. That's something that we always say, be part of it. And the Sirens are great organization to really get behind.
And I mean, y'all got to work with Jerry last season, and now you get to work with Weston. How exciting is that, right? He is someone that was very loved in the loyal community, and now he's part of the Wave community.
Yeah, we're definitely super stoked to work together. I mean, again, being someone that's been with the Sirens and kind of working with Wave front office liaisons and leadership since 2024, we've had a number of contacts, and I think already in just the handful of weeks, months that we've been working together, it's already great, nice, smooth. We're happy. We're honestly just really, really happy that we get to have that connection with the front office, while remaining independent as we are. I think there's just kind of this mutual respect that comes out of both sides. And I definitely feel with West there, it's going to be just amplified, right? That message just kind of getting further and further cemented. I think the front office and the Sirens and, any other kind of fans or supporters groups, organizations they work with are figuring out, this is the type of community that we want to build, and these are the type of partners we want to have. And I think that's sort of coming through as well.
Oh, I love that. And again, it's part of a growing community here. We're still on our
we're 2 months away.
We're 2 months away. Are you guys ready?
Oh my gosh, we are stoked. Always ready. Never not ready in the Sirens.
I can't wait to see new TFOs, anything coming up. Yeah, I'm sorry. My pronunciation is not the best. So
check everything out at www.sandiegosirens.com/membership. Sign up, look at all the information. Everything is on there. Googie, thank you for your time, and definitely going to go ahead and have you back. Let's expand this, and let's have this be a part of Two Balls and a Mic. And
nominate someone else to come in San Diego on Two Balls and a Mic. Nominate someone. That'd be cool.
Perfect.
Really appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Have a good one.
Have a good night.
Perfect. But no, a great information. Definitely something that we're going to go ahead and keep trying to go ahead and push is the supporter section, and there's going to be a giant part of San Diego Punto Football. Obviously, the website that we have, that's our website, and that's the rebrand, the company, San Diego.football. And it's kind of like cumbersome, just saying dot punto in between football.
San Diego Football.
Had this conversation with somebody who was talking about Joe Corona and his announcement with Cholos coming back. And, we had mentioned it last Monday, because we had the sources for that who let us know, hey, this is going to happen. But ultimately, that's... Let me catch it. Where'd it go?
La Corona.
But yeah, so that's what happened last week. We did get sources for that. We're going to go ahead and get into some SDFC, but again, it's a part of San Diego football community that we're trying to help build. The website's coming up. Supporter culture is big. We're definitely going to do this with the Riptides, the locals, the Chavos, Riptides, locals, 18th Battalion, Barra 18, anybody else who comes in, who are all part of...
¿Cuántas más va a haber?
I mean, there might be more. There might be more. Puma, San Diego Punto Football just rolls off the tongue, though. Yeah, it does. But again, asking
it
like...
sounds nice.
Give me this mother. And give me the flashlight. It looks just cleaner because it's like, all right, Tony Sanchez, San Diego Football. Tony Sanchez, San Diego Punto Football. Like, it still works, but it's like San Diego Football. Oh, so you're speaking for all of football in San Diego? Kind of.
Yeah, damn right.
Kind of. Because guess what?
You have the NWSL commissioner call. Did you say San Diego Football?
Damn right I did.
Punto Football or Football? You probably said Punto Football.
No, I said San Diego Football.
Oh, nice. I'm trying to think, and the ones I've joined, if I said San Diego Punto Football.
Well, as we're talking about this Joe Corona announcement, we're currently working on getting Joe Corona on an interview through Cholos Quintles, his new club, Cholos de Tijuana, making that announcement that he has returned. The prodigy, the baby boy de la región, has returned to Tijuana. El campeón, scoring the first ever goal in... this looks not right.
It doesn't at all.
All right. Okay, you can take that away.
Yeah.
Who had the first goal in the first division for Cholos. Not the prettiest goal, but it was a goal nonetheless.
I mean, yeah, he's returning to the team that put him on the map, really. Dude, I'm sorry, I just got back from Mexico. And
I got back from La Paz.
Dude, it was dope. It was cool. Yeah, he's returning to the club that put him on the map. I mean, he won a championship there with Cholos. Oh, I mean, it's the only championship they've ever had.
Put the team on
You put Joe Corona back in Cholos. Could there be another championship now?
Hey, they put him up on they put the child up in, well, once he grew up in America, and he also kind of paid dividends there. He's probably going to be reunited when we see him, because we are going to go cover the match with Chivas and probably see his former teammates, Chicharito, if things happen.
Right? He said it on his Twitch channel that he's going to be going to the best city in Mexico. Didn't say Guadalajara, but
heel turn DF America.
Oh no!
Oh my God! He would never. That would never happen.
I know.
It would be so bad for him. But yeah.
No, so I mean, if you're following San Diego native players, now you can follow Joe Corona and follow him into Cholos with the Liga MX, and you can also follow Brandon Vasquez with Monterrey. Now there's two teams
local
in
products,
the Liga MX, who are representing San Diego. One in a very competitive team, the other one in Cholos, which has the potential to be competitive. Who knows how they end up doing this season, but season started already last season.
Season's greetings.
Oh yeah, we're definitely going to be there for. This really does give us a reason to go to more Cholos games.
Yeah, and
we'll talk to Joe. It's going to be a good one when Monterrey comes into town as well. So we'll definitely be there for that one as well, to see the Joe Corona versus Brandon Vasquez clash.
A lot of people were at this event on Saturday for the kickoff. It's not the official kickoff, but it's the launch/talk discussions of the Chrome Ball Tour. This surprise that surprised nobody. Again, empezamos mal. But the Chrome Ball, nonetheless, is starting its world tour here in San Diego. It's going to start going around town, and
it's world tour.
it's World US Tour. It's actually a really cool video that they put together. So kudos to the graphics department. Like this right there was pretty cool. That edit right there.
I love that you appreciate this little edit.
I do.
Yeah.
I don't know why it's not coming out from there, but all right. Yeah, so it's a really cool video, and then there you see leadership from the different supporter groups speaking, and again, this was a supporter group meeting, and there's been a couple of those already. We had somebody kind of foot on the ground, kind of listening and seeing if there was going to be any sort of announcements about the landing spots for their first signing in Duran Ferree. There are rumors that are going about that he's going to be landing in Orange County FC. So very strong rumors on that front. So we're going to go ahead and make sure that we are the first ones to announcements once anything becomes official with any team or Orange County.
I mean, he
was kind of tongue in cheek about it. He was kind of tongue in cheek about it. You tell me another orange and black soccer team in the world. If he wasn't joining FC Northland, it would be red and. I actually like that.
I mean, by no means are we a supporters group podcast or anything like that, but I am very curious to see how this is going to work out, right? Because at the end of the day, all these supporters groups are going to be sitting or standing in the same section. Nowhere else in the world do you see that. You see different supporters group in different sections. So I am very curious to see how that's going to work out, what chants they're going to be doing, what's going to be happening there. So Wolverhampton.
I mean, that's more like yellow, like gold.
It is orange. It's orange. What do you mean yellow?
That's orange. It's not that color.
It's like a lighter orange.
It's but it's like saying lemon lime Gatorade is
verde.
It's yellow.
It is yellow.
It's yellow. That's lemon lime Gatorade is yellow. Period. End of discussion. Nobody in the chat have any sort of inclination on anything differently. But yeah, so the announcement also was that it was said that coaches from anywhere in San Diego, and I think this hasn't really been said outside of this meeting, was that different coaches and youth coaches from San Diego are invited to see this FC Northland training because they are here and they are training at the Olympic Training Center. They have landed the sibling club of SDFC coming up, and we talked about this last time where they're going to be training at the Olympic Training Center with some of the some interesting competition, MLS competition. Some of that has changed. Let me because I know what it says, but I don't want to butcher it, so I'm just going to literally just boop translate.
I thought you could translate on X.
You could, but all right. After long days of travel, the first evening at training camp was spent loosening up the body with a trip to the gym, where there was both a smile on the face and sweat on the forehead. Flex emoji, tiger emoji. See more pictures from the day here. And again, it's just some of the training sessions happening at the Olympic Training Center. It's that weight room that you would see a lot of SD Loyal players being at. There's many teams that have come and go through the Olympic Training Center unannounced. They have scrimmages there. It's just a center for training for international teams, youth teams, for anybody. So FC Northland making that known that they're here. And we do have some breaking news as far as tomorrow's scrimmage, because there is a scrimmage tomorrow, as we found out from Nuestra Gente over in the other side of the border, that is going to be indeed Cholos. So FC Northland will be scrimmaging against Cholos. Cholos Quiles tomorrow at the Olympic Training Center. I know that there is access to that, but that's an interesting thing that happened.
It's gonna be the U23 or something like that.
The under 23, the same treatment that they gave San Diego Loyal.
Yeah, I doubt it'll be the big name. Maybe we'll see Joe Corona there, for sure. But I think it's going to be a lot of like bench players, reserve players, and the 23. I mean, comparing the ages, though, this is kind of like what this team also is, right? It's a very young team, but the season already started. I mean, it could be great competition for Cholos as well. So maybe they do send their starting lineup.
Yeah.
But it'll be interesting to see who it is. So, I mean, you got to be there. You got to be a supporter member to be there.
Yeah, we might have an intern, making an appearance. But either way, the urban legend says, talking about SDFC, they need a coach and a special one. It just became available. Is it too big of a dream?
You will crap yourself if Mourinho is the head coach for SDFC. You will.
Why not? Imagínate cosas chingonas, güey.
That is your favorite coach of all time. Imagine he comes to San Diego.
Even as an opponent, like that'd be great. But I don't see the special one making an appearance. There's no.
There's a higher chance Hugo Sanchez is a coach, and terminates his own contract with the ESPN Deportes.
Literally saying that, which again I would love. Mourinho will join SDFC is more credible than Hugo Sanchez, ever was. Period. Point. Punto. Yeah. Done.
David Faitelson.
The Chalos is going to be there tomorrow. Decent contingent of supporters is heading out as well. Yep, that's what I'm hearing. Definitely. You think Rooney will be our coach? No. Get Rooney everywhere away from a franchise that wants to win a championship or just be in contention. Who was fired after 8 weeks. He did say he'd like to coach in the USA back in 2011. He did say that when he was touring with Real Madrid here in the States. I would definitely remember that. I didn't even know if local kid Iloski was with the Danish squad. Yes.
That'll be a good shout to see, right? I mean, back home, definitely most likely is with the team. So that'd be very interesting. I'm not too sure if he's making an appearance yet, right? Last season, but the season's about to start for them as well. So I mean, that's exciting. I mean, if you're really going to be out there, you kind of get a glimpse of what the game and the style could be for SDFC.
Yeah, 100%. And you can have an idea of what to expect at Snapdragon. Maybe you're going to see some of these players for the first time, but you're going to go ahead and have them be fan favorites. Why? Because again, this kind of feeds onto itself. If you're a San Diego loyal supporter of what was, then you are familiar with Milan Orlovsky's game and how that's adapted and transitioned now with the academy setting, right? What is it going to be like when an American player, when a local kid who already started his career, learned his mechanics, did his growth with the American side of things, gets fed into FC Northland? Is that going to change his playing style? How has it affected it? That's going to be interesting to look at, because what's going to more than likely happen, and I'll put some money on it. I'd be very, very confident in saying that Milan Orlovsky will more than likely be a San Diego FC player. And, if not, I think it's a missed opportunity. And if not, then,
is it a downgrade going to that team and then coming to SDFC?
Well, no, because it's all the same. Is it in the same way?
I mean, playing in Europe is an upgrade regardless of playing in the MLS. Doesn't matter if it's in Norway. Doesn't matter where it is. Doesn't matter if it's actually. It's a downgrade coming to the MLS. I don't care what anybody says. MLS is on the come up. Yes, granted, Messi plays here, Busquets, whatever. MLS is nowhere near at the level of any other European league.
Well, okay, let me put it to you this way, right? Thomas Amang, Joe Corona were playing in Sweden before they came into the second division of MLS. So, and that was the first division over there.
Yes. I'm not saying the level. I'm saying as a whole, the format, everything. It's a downgrade playing on this side. It's a downgrade going to Mexico, anywhere in Europe. Players dream. I mean, there's a reason why Luis Chavez over in Mexico ended his contract, bought himself out of his contract to go play in Russia. There's a reason players want to go play over there, because there's a chance you're going to get noticed more over there than anywhere over here.
I agree, but again, what's the ceiling for Milan Orlovsky? Like, what is his career trajectory, right? Like, I remember talking to Anthony Siaha, backup goalkeeper for San Diego Loyal, now starting goalkeeper for Monterrey, where Guzman and Xavi and Nalati are now at. Like, his dream was literally say, my trajectory here is to go and play in Europe in the next three years and never look back. and that's what they want. But realistically, is that going to happen? I'm not sure. And then again, you guys have a goalkeeper in Onana who can be replaced by literally anybody at this point. So who knows? Season's greetings to Jeffrey Abramovich.
I will stand by that comment though. Coming to play in MLS compared to anywhere in Europe, it's a downgrade. Even going back to Mexico to play in Liga MX from anywhere in Europe, it's a downgrade.
If you guys have opinions on that, that'd be really cool. To share those. Vasquez said not long ago that he needs Europe to be informed for the World Cup. That's La Liga MX. And even then, so what do you think? Is it a downgrade to go from MLS to La Liga? Liga MX?
No. What? MLS to Liga MX?
Yeah.
No.
Okay.
No, hey, I think at most it's equivalent.
So Brandon Vasquez was a lateral move, or did he downgrade or upgrade by going to Monterrey?
I think Monterrey has more connections than FC Cincinnati. I think Monterrey opens the door. The only downgrade is going to Mexico. The way these Mexican teams are now, they're being very greedy with the prices and how much or by how much they're valuing their players when European teams come into the market.
Yeah.
Pachuca wanted to sell Luis Chavez for like $20-something million, which is not going to happen. These European teams tap into Mexico and MLS because they know they can get talent for a very low price. But with the way Mexico's set up, they're hiking those prices up and they don't want their players to leave for cheap. So at the end of the day, their own Mexican teams are kind of hurting their own players by doing that. So
perfect. So that's going to be tomorrow. Cholos Quintles de Tijuana. Cholos Quintles de Tijuana versus FC Northland. Get your tickets now. Well, can't get tickets, but either way, that's going to be happening. Interesting things in that kind of area. We already talked about Durant a little bit. That supporters meeting was dope, was cool. One thing that I did hear a lot of people tell me is that they thought the poster was going to be free. The poster with the map that Josue made was a really cool poster.
You had to buy it?
You had to buy it.
How much was it?
$25.
Váyanse a la verga, no mames. No mames. That's some fucked up.
I don't know if by the time
greedy MLS team selling posters for $25. Come on, you guys are a billionaire freaking company.
Hey, I hope all profits.
You guys are selling.
You don't know this. You don't know. You don't know if the money went back to Josue or to a charitable.
I might get someone to give you a phone call. That is some fucked up shit. Selling those posters. That is messed up. No, it was a donation. It's a $25 donation, right?
Well, I don't think it was.
There we go, being pessimistic, Tony. Sorry.
I mean, if anybody got one for free, let me know. If that changed, let me know.
Slide it through over here.
Please. If that, like, I don't want to get that wrong because the way my minutes are set up and the rollover plan I have, I'm running out of minutes. So if I keep getting these SDFC calls, look, let's go ahead and correct it in a bit here. Jay SDFC says it was an upgrade for his bank account. That's why he went to Mexico. That's
100%. Yeah.
100%.
100%.
Or price for a poster, but yeah, let me know if anybody did get a poster from there for free or how would that dynamic. I hope Josue got as much money as he could possibly get because that was a really dope poster.
It was dope.
He worked hard on it, and one of the highlights. Yep, and we're getting confirmation here from Loyal Naku. Was not free.
Paul, cool. Just blink if it was $25.
Yeah, I mean it's fine. Whatever it was. If it did go for a good cause, great to the artist, great. If it didn't though, like look. That's just an easy peasy opportunity to get yourself some brownie points with the fans. Is what? First 100 people get this. First 150 people here get like something, and at the end, like I don't know, it just seems like an opportunity missed. And this is not a negative anything on anybody. This isn't the decision that people that we know in the front office probably took. It's just probably above everybody's pay grade to say this is going to be this, or even the budgets are a thing, and
that's the business side of it.
That's the business side of it.
The business side of it. Yeah. So
people, from what I saw, did kind of like the look of the shop. They haven't been there. 18 threads. There's nice. Not a lot of Adidas stuff. Someone looked up the brand and where they're sourcing stuff or could potentially source stuff, and they linked it to Tijuana. And so una maquiladora over there just making those things. The Adidas stuff will probably hopefully be back. But we'll definitely get into that in a little bit. Procrastinating Puma. But it's the kickoff. It was a launch party. It was another opportunity to get together. I saw a lot of positivity between supporter groups and kind of getting ready and seeing the faces of some of these presidents for the first time and some of the leadership for the first time. I really hope, man. Like, I really hope, and this is again, I'll die on this hill. I really hope that San Diego is ready for visiting supporter sections to come in to Snapdragon and be ready to take it to them and not get embarrassed. Like, man, like, I don't like anything LA, Clippers, because it was from San Diego. But the one thing that they really did that was cool in the final last year was that Tifo they did with the Super Saiyajin Gogeta. You know what I'm talking about?
Mm-hmm.
Like, that was cool. Yeah. Can San Diego FC replicate something as cool as that? I really hope so, man, because that's what you're going up against. That's the levels that are going to be here. But yeah, and look, very happy to see Josue's involvement in the club. Several cool pieces so far on his Instagram. Yeah, it's really cool, and I really think that they're using these connections that were built through San Diego Loyal in a positive direction, a positive light, and buying some stock with the community in that sense.
At the end of the day, it's putting people on a higher pedestal, right? Where they're going to be able to showcase their talents to a bigger following than what they could have done with San Diego Loyal. So that is the pros of it. At the end of the day, everything has its pros and cons. Hopefully all that money went to Josue.
Hopefully. And if it didn't, it didn't. And that's the end of that. But something that just got announced right meow was actually a little bit more information for what eventually is going to be the Chrome Ball Tour, because the Chrome Ball Tour is making their rounds, and we're going to get this information right now. And remember what I told you? I'm going to do an experiment with socials.
Yes.
This is the experiment, and we'll see how it happens, how it goes. Let's see. Real quick, Paul says, new SDFC merch available by first stop of the Chrome Tour in Oceanside on the 27th. Perfect. So here we go. Thank you for letting us know. Paul, there's going to be new merch available for the first stop of the Chrome Ball Tour in Oceanside on the 27th of January. Hey, Chiva, let's get some more information on this, because that sounds like a load of fun. Let's go ahead and get this started. Join us on Saturday, January 27th at Oceanside Amphitheater for a day of excitement. Watch the Street Flow Soccer Cup from 11 a.m. to 5 p.m. Cool that they're doing it again. Featuring 40 teams across various divisions. Stick around for the music and dance performances from 5:30 p.m. to 8 p.m. Enjoy the vibe with a live DJ, food trucks, merchandise, and a beer garden. Everybody is invited. Todos están invitados. I approve of that Spanglish. Let's just get it clear. It's a Chrome Ball Tour happening here. I did like the whole Street Flow event. It looks like this is going to have another component of that. Free public access. More information at sandiegofc.com/chrome-ball-tour. So that's what we have here, breaking from the SDFC social media group. So if you guys are interested, go ahead and check it out. Again, that's going to be more information, sandiegofc.com/chrome-ball-tour.
It is really cool that they are doing another street soccer cup, and man, it's all the way in Oceanside.
Look, that's going to be close for a lot of people.
Yeah, no, for sure. But it's going to go around to every city. I wonder where they're going to do it here in Chula Vista. And
so I think they released the order that they want on that blank schedule, because a lot of people were confused that the event did say 10 a.m. For the last Saturday's event on some of the postings. And it's like, well, the actual event's going to start at closer to 3 to 6. Get the picture with the players, special guests. The layout here: merch truck, food trucks, ticket tent, street soccer check-in, beer gardens, court 1, 2, 3, and 4. And the Chrome Ball will be right there. Personally, look, the Chrome Ball, it is what it is. It's an expression, and I can break it down in a AP art history sense, but other than that, like, if you're interested in this, go ahead and check it out. It's going to be another event. And again, the first one for Street Flow went really, really well. Street Soccer Cups, 40 teams, men's adult division, women's adult division, 2011 and 2012 youth boys division, 2011, 2012 youth girls division, 4 courts, cash, and merch prizes. So that's really cool. Picnic area, food trucks, supporter engagement, Toyota vehicle activation, chrome ball. I see DJ when he was going to be a teammate. Beto Perez on there. So check it out. Can't wait. It's going to be an awesome event. Esteban Toscano has been doing great stuff, man.
Oh, man. Dude, Esteban, shout out on your video with Jaden Shaw. That was amazing. Check it out on his Instagram, Esteban Toscano. Great content that he's producing when it comes to soccer drills. I'm personally, are you liking? I like his
series of like, you're a soccer player.
Or the goalkeeper one was funny too. I thought you'd appreciate the goalkeeper one. That was funny.
No, I didn't. Yeah, I did. It was really dope.
What do you say? We're gonna smell our gloves.
Yeah, no, that one hit home, dude. Like that's an attack. Like I that one, I was like, relax.
We're goalkeeper. Of course, we're gonna die for everything.
And I really liked that the when he dove, it didn't need to be. You do it for the picture. That's why you do it.
Yeah, para la foto. Shout out Esteban. Great stuff on Instagram and I mean everywhere.
Yeah, one of the people that's really involved with SDFC and kind of getting out there. He's the one that's modeling all of their merch, so he knows if it's comfy or not. I mean, of course. Shout out to everything that he is doing. Looks fun. It would be significantly improve my opinion of them if they pull off something close to this big in all 18 cities. That'd be really cool. But again, just kind of let's temper expectations because I know like
it can't be that big in city, right?
I was hit up by somebody at the office as far as like, hey, when is like National City? Because I'm like, oh, National City. Is there venues? What's the biggest venue? I'm like,
El Parque, güey.
There's a park in Kimball Park that has like a half amphitheater, but I don't know if that's what you want exactly. Yeah. Maybe this quinceañera hall. Like, I don't know what you look like. You go do it at Sweetwater High School. Like, I would if they want to go to National City they need to go to Sweetwater High School because that's really understanding the community where it's a whole city, one high school, and this has been happening for over 100 and some years. It's the only high school in National City. If there's one thing in National City that everybody has in common is that everybody went to National City, so Sweetwater High School. Joe Corona was there. As a nice field. There's a nice history there, so I'll still throw it out there.
Chula Vista. I mean, Valle Lindo Park has that. Like street soccer field with like the little Target logo in the middle.
Absolutely. Some of my best saves have happened through there. You're welcome, Esteban.
All hail the chrome ball.
All hail the chrome ball. I for one welcome our new chrome ball overlords. Simpsons reference that you in a millionaire's
I think of that and it's like the SpongeBob movie when they were wearing the chum bucket, like, oh, the chum bucket. You know
yes, I know, and that really like puts it into perspective of like who we are fundamentally as people.
I just saw it in Spanish, Netflix in Mexico. So.
But yeah, so that's what's going to be happening here. Coming up for SDFC, is there going to be more signings? There is rumors that some signings are happening for San Diego FC that haven't been announced yet. That's more than likely in the works. The scouting has already happened. The Tyler Heaps, the scout for Right to Dream / SDFC, has been out there.
Let us know in the comments who do you think the next signing is going to be.
Yeah,
is it going to be another academy youngster, or is it going to be an established player? Let us know who you think is going to be. Who do you think is going to be, Tony? Do you have a shout? Do you have anyone that you'd like to see? I've been seeing a lot of this post lately. It's like, oh, like who would you like to see in SDFC?
Yeah, so terrible soccer
about that, right?
SDFC.
Let's talk about it. Who would you like to see in this SDFC team? If you could get a realistic signing that's either known worldwide, like a Chicharito or anything like that, who's off the market, by the way.
Well, again, like that's the thing. Like, if you're asking me, like for real, like what do you think? Like, anybody who's the current club is not going to be signed. There's no chance of that of a future contract once this contract expires. Like, and I go to like Paul Arriola, right? Like that's somebody who people know, people who recognize, who has experience in the MLS currently with FC Dallas. I think there's, some contract space, but
realistically, they're not going to get a lot of San Diego native players.
Yeah, it's not going to all be SD native players. Like that's not the reality of this. and how it goes. You might get one or two, especially established ones. They're even more rare to find. I mean, Brandon Vasquez maybe in year 2
has a 3-year contract right now with Monterrey.
But again, look,
it's not going to be cheap for him.
It's not going to be cheap, but like these are the moves. And I was thinking about this that San Diego's not involved with. Like, it's a play where legitimately a contract negotiation and a buyout can happen through SDFC. Like they're in this. They're with the big boys. Like they can have the conversations of like, oh, there's this player coming over from Europe. He wants to play in the US, and for some reason doesn't want to play in Miami. Let's go ahead and get him here. Let's go ahead and get I don't know. Again, a Mohamed Salah. Like that's a name that again people keep throwing around, and it's the easy like superlative connection with Mansour and the ownership.
Alexis Vega.
Again, a Mexican player like that would be really interesting. A very established Mexican player like Alexis Vega. You know,
that wouldn't be the best shout now.
It wouldn't. You're the one that said that. You literally just said that.
I know it's a bad thing. He's not loved right now, Tony. Going to Toluca, 3-year contract.
Nick Moon from SD Loyal expansion draft. Yeah, but potentially. And there's a lot of chances for that. Grizzy 619 soccer, but the time is running out because look, there's less than 365 days, less than a year between now and when training camp has to start for SDFC. Like the clock is starting now. There's not a lot of time. There's not a lot of time for the front office. Not a lot of time for the training staff. There's not a lot of time for the supporters. Like time is gonna.
By when do you think they need to have a roster, a coach already in place? By when would you say?
In 3 months.
Wow.
Because I know that the official uniforms are going to be released closer to before summer, after summer, because that's usually like when looking at St. Louis and how they did things. Mm-hmm. That's when they announce it. Why? Because you need people to buy things. You need people to be ready with the kits for next year and what it's going to look like. Like you do giveaways. No, they're not going to do giveaways. They will. Hopefully, hey, you give giveaways with us.
I mean, they don't post at $25.
Hey, give us a poster to give away. People wanted that. We wanted it.
Give us 2.
Yeah, no, like I'll you know what? I'm gonna hit up also and be like, hey, wait. No, not even like how did this work? Again, I want to make sure that he got compensated for his work, and I know he did. They obviously didn't just freeload off of him.
Yeah, no.
I would only hope. Neymar, Salah, Griezmann. Yeah, I mean those are great shouts. Like those names would bring an importance to the squad. But again, do they fit the model that Right to Dream is looking for? Do they fit the model that they're aiming for? The development aspect. Do you get this one star and then build your academy and promote teams from the academy, players from the academy to supplement the way that they play? Or do you get a star that supplements the way that your academy is going to play?
Can SDFC be the team that just kind of separates themselves from all the other teams and doesn't go based on the academy style? It won't be, but
they won't.
They could, right? I mean,
they could, but they're not.
At least for the first season. No. I mean, it's going to be a tough year.
It's going to be a tough year. Obviously, you're not going to spring up academy players that are, because again, their focus right now is like the 12 age range. Like that's who they're scouting as far as locally, right? So yes, maybe the first team will have a lot of different names and players from abroad and more traditional transfer market where they'll get the pieces to bring it all together and just take pieces from around the MLS, right? Because you don't need just players that know how to play, right? Messi, Suarez, those Busquets, Alba, those are outliers. You can put them in any country to play soccer and they're going to fit. But there is a specific style of soccer in the MLS, and you got to be successful in trying to navigate that style that the Americans play collectively, right? Like Colorado Rapids, they have a way of playing that probably isn't very like many teams in Europe. You can't just come in and expect to do great things. Thierry Henry, he did pretty all right, but you know what? Same team, Rafa Marquez, he struggled. And then he went back to Mexico, then went back, had a great World Cup, went back over to Italy, played in Hellas Veronas. Like there's levels to this. Salcedo, boy. I know maybe not a player, but I know that he's itching to get in there and get involved. And that would be a good get. Sal Zizzo knows the community, he's one of the people who has been really cool since the beginning, and really cares about the soccer community and wants to bring it up. So that'd be a really cool get, at least for the organization in some capacity, to have someone like Sal Zizzo on their team. But I don't know, man. Like MLS, like they got the best player in the world. Good job, Messi. They got one of the best coaches in the world that almost so ridiculous, beat Borussia Dortmund for a quick second there in Nate Miller, now an assistant coach. But yeah, I mean, that's kind of what we have for this week.
Big shout out to Mia Fisher scoring the first goal for Chelsea in 2024. San Diego representing, who's most likely going to be getting a starting shout soon with Sam Kerr injured.
ACL.
But yeah, big shout out Brandon Vasquez. A lot of happening for San Diego so far.
Absolutely. You can go ahead and catch everything that's coming up with soccer in San Diego. All these episodes, you can look back at the catalog that we have. Special thanks to Googie from the SD supporter group, San Diego supporter group for the Wave, the Sirens, and everything that's happening over there. Shout out to the Sirens themselves. Shout out to everybody who's been supporting us, everybody who said hi at the event. We'll go ahead and see you. We'll make coverage. We'll do coverage of any and all developments on the MLS SDFC side. We'll see if they post that. We'll see if they post that. Hey, it is the old song, Procrastinating Buddha, for the outro. You noticed. Yeah, there you go. Season's greetings to everybody who joined us. Been a pleasure. You guys are awesome. Till next time.
Good night, guys.